What's up, y'all? Welcome to the Chris Gunther Show. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to like and share this video. I would greatly appreciate it. On today, we are so honored to have my man Donny Brooks. What's going on with you, brother?
How you doing?
Good to see you, man.
You as well.
Let's go ahead and jump right into it. You're doing a lot of things out in the city of Akron, especially with your foundation. Can you go ahead and share with us about it?
Yes, it's called the Akron Baseball Project Incorporated, a nonprofit organization, baseball and softball for boys and girls ages 4 to 15.
What made you decide to want to give back to the community?
It was something that I felt that was needed in the community. Of course, growing up in Akron, it's always been a football and basketball city.
Hmm.
Baseball was looked at as just something to do, a recreation, stay um, fit or anything of that nature. And I wanted baseball to be a pillar in the community, like football and basketball is currently.
What is it about giving back that makes you say, I want to continue to do this? Because sometimes people can get really established and they feel
Yes.
like they don't need to, reach their hand back to help somebody else out. So, what continues to make you want to give back?
Well, I just look at the fact that there's some boy or girl out there that doesn't have assistance when it comes to doing what they want to do. It could be anybody. It can be, like I said, anybody. And I feel like that's what I needed growing up as a kid. So that's what keeps me going to give back to the youth.
You had mentioned that Akron is normally anytime you hear about it, obviously we all think of LeBron James, synonymous with
Yeah.
basketball, and then you think about football, but baseball is the one that kind of gets lost in the sauce. But baseball is
Yes.
still an extremely popular sport. What is it about that sport that made you connect with the kids?
Well, what actually made me um, stick with baseball is that when I was a kid, of course, in the 90s, baseball was a pillar.
Sure was.
And yes, my favorite player back in the 90s was Ken Griffey Jr.
Yes, sir.
So, yes. So, obviously, back when we came up, we had a lot of African American superstar baseball players. You had Frank Thomas, Ken Griffey, Deion Sanders, um, Sammy Sosa. I mean, you had so many, oh, Barry Bonds. I mean, the list goes on.
Mhm.
And I feel like today, the kids, the youth, don't have that player or players that they can say, "Oh, that's who I want to be when I grow up." But if you look at basketball and football, it's tons of them. So that's something that I'm trying to do and continue to do, and not just Akron. Of course, Akron's home, but I want to make the Akron Baseball Project global. Um, and obviously keep Akron, Ohio as home base, of course, but global.
When people talk about the Akron Baseball Project, what is it that you really want them to make sure that they're highlighting?
Highlighting the fact that this program is saving kids' lives as in education, as in keeping them off the streets. And in the fun of it, one of them could possibly become pro or D1 or D2 level. But the main focus is to say that this program saved my life when it came to, like I said, education or personal.
Being a person of color, we always know that a lot of the times, realistically, when you're in sports, that is a great outlet. It's a
Yes.
great way to escape
Yes.
sometimes the home life. Sometimes the home life isn't the
Yes.
best. And sometimes you have people that are just dealing with some really jacked up issues, but it's nice to get away and escape. And you're able to provide that escape for a lot of the kids for the next generation. Why should kids want to continue to come
Yes.
to you?
Because it's something different, something new, fresh, and it's on the rise, positive rise. And I want the youth and also the parents that's over the youth. I want um, the youth and the parents that's over the youth to have their kids do something different, not because their cousin is not doing it or their friend. We need to have our kids do things outside of the box.
That's
And I
right.
feel like the generation today is always saying, "Oh, my friend doesn't do it, or my cousin doesn't do it, or the neighbor kid doesn't do it." While Why don't you be that person to, to start it? And that's what I always tell the boys and the girls. And that's what keeps it going. I have right now a total of 78 players, boys and girls combined, from ages 4 to 15 in a year's time. So it's growing. And the goal, it's grew every 3 months. It became 22 players from August of last year of 2023, now to 78 players. So we pretty much tripled within a year. So everyone is believing in the vision. And I want them not to just believe it, but also see it as well with what I'm putting and pouring into the company as well.
Do you feel that you're getting the a right amount of support from your hometown, especially with wanting to do this project?
Um, I do. Um, and I hope that I continue to get the support that I have been receiving and more.
One of the best parts about giving back is you start to see the impact in the kids. Maybe not
Yes,
immediately, but as time
yes,
goes on, you see them getting better, not just in school, but in life, period. How proud of a
yes.
moment is that for you?
It's really great. Just the other day, yesterday, one of my baseball players from school ran up to me and said, "Coach, when's practice? When's baseball practice?" I love it. So he's 10 years old, and he's in the fifth grade, and it just puts a smile on my face because they're so energetic for baseball, and I love it. So that right there, just 24 hours ago, it shows the proof.
What is it about baseball that has taught you about life?
It kept me organized. It kept me on my grades because, of course, baseball you have to have a certain GPA.
Sure do.
And baseball, the GPA is higher than other extracurricular activities. So it kept me on my grades. It taught me how to stay focused on my studies, as well as my mother. Baseball is a thinking man's game. It's 90% mental, 10% physical. So your physical can go away anytime, but that mental stays. That's why baseball, highest paid sport out of the three: baseball, basketball, and football, and more longevity.
100% because guys are playing well into their, late 30s, early 40s and things of that nature. And we see how the game
Yes,
itself has really changed a lot too. But with that being said,
yes.
I'm sure there have been moments when you had to change because you wanted to make sure that you were instilling something into your players that would make them better people. What were some of the things that you probably had to change about yourself to instill in the next generation?
So, for example, baseball, when you go to a baseball stadium, um, it's not the same feel as you get going to a football stadium or a basketball stadium. So I incorporate the latest music for my players. So that gets them hype, that gets them going, that keeps them motivated. That's one thing I felt that was important, that I incorporated in my practices and my trainings. And another thing that I felt that what keeps the children focused is that we're here to stay. And I feel kids need consistency. The youth needs consistency. If you drop the ball, that's when they stay relevant, stay consistent. That will teach the youth to stay consistent in what they're doing when it comes to education and great citizenship, their behaviors.
With everything good, there does come some bad. There's no way you can be a success without there being somebody to try to taint it. How have you been able to block out the noise and stay motivated to keep going?
It's definitely been within the past 16 months. I focus on and remembering who has had my back from the beginning, the middle, and I'm gonna say that right now, the beginning and the middle, because we're not at the end.
Yes,
So
sir.
beginning and the middle.
Yes.
Yes. So that's what keeps me focused. My family, my parents, and they're the ones that's been riding with me from day one. And that's what keeps me focused and not letting the outside noise and negativity affect me because if you're not getting negative noise, then like you're not doing something right.
100%
So
accurate. 100% accurate. I know all about it. But with the great things, we
yes,
understand what you're doing for your players, but sometimes it's nice to get some type of flowers for your work. You were recently nominated for an OEA. Congratulations to you on that.
thank you. I appreciate that.
Now, I gotta ask you this, man, because there's no way I can have you on this type of platform without bringing it up. You might as well go ahead and plug your information so the people can vote for you. I just want to put that out there.
Yes. Okay. Businessman of the Year, Donny Brooks, November 2nd to November 10th, it ends, unlimited voting. So this Saturday, I'm sorry, Sunday will be, I think that's Saturday. What's that, the 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th? Yeah. This Sunday or Saturday will be the last day. I'm sorry. A couple of days mixed up, but November 10th is the last day to vote.
And you guys also have some merch for sale, correct?
Unlimited.
Unlimited votes, yes, but you guys also have some
Yes, we
merch
do.
for sale, correct?
Yes, we have hats, and here's one of the hats right now. I'm wearing as we speak. This is a snapback. We also have Velcro straps as well, and we have the latest T-shirts from August of 2024, so a few months ago. Yep. So that's our merch right now. I'll be having more merch in the future and with 2025. So we'll have some new stuff. But right now we have T-shirts and hats.
In 2025, what are some of the events that you guys have that your players and maybe their parents can look forward to?
We are having our public winter clinic. That's going to be in February, 2025 at the AB Pitching Academy. That's going to be a 2-day camp. Also, I'll be partnering up with a couple public schools in Akron as well for my winter clinics with Cyberling CLC and Schumacher CLC in Akron, Ohio.
I was reading this one quote and I'm paraphrasing it, and it said that if a coach is not hard on you, it's because they don't care about you. How true of a statement is that for you, especially in 2024, when a lot of people feel that the coaches can't be tough on the kids now because a lot of the people in this generation can't handle it? So, how true of a quote is that for you?
Um, I feel that you have to know your players. I feel that every player can take what constructive criticism differently in today's world. Obviously, when we came up, we all got it pretty much the same.
Sure
So
did.
the youth today, you have to, if you are an effective coach, you need to know your players, male or female. You need to know what are their positives, what are their negatives, what are their strengths, and what are their weaknesses. So if you know your player doesn't take constructive criticism well, you need to figure out what will they take well. So it may not be words, it may be showing something physical for them when it comes to their craft. And so in that way, instead of, pointing the finger at them and being negative, because a lot of children today can't take that.
How are you able to make sure that even though at times you're tough on your players, you're making it known that it's out of love? Because we know once we get out here in the real world, things are going to come across and you're going to have to resort back to some of those old lessons you had to learn as a kid. So, how are you able to still make sure that your players know it's all out of love?
Always let them know that before I even give them a speech or a pep talk, I always say, um, I'm letting you know from Coach Brooks that I'm not coming down on you. I'm proud of you, and I want you to be successful in this life. I never just say sports because sports comes to an end. So I always say in this world, in this life. So I always start out with that with my players, and always try to keep a smile on my face. And if I don't, I'll always try to give them a motivational lesson or speech to keep a positive outlook for the day or for the session or practice.
This year has definitely been a challenge for some people, the ups, the downs,
Yes,
and things of that nature. But we all know, just like in the game of baseball, you got to get back up and you got to swing. Who cares if you strike? Who cares if you hit a home run? You still got to get up there and hit. because life is going to throw you a lot of curveballs. How have you been able to make sure that no matter what comes your way, you come back up to the plate and that you hit?
I just always just remember why I'm doing this and where I see myself in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years. And obviously, like you said, life throws a curve, could be a lot of curves. So I always make sure that I'm on the fast track.
100%. Before we get out of here, if anybody wanted to connect with you or learn more about the project, how can they do that?
They can contact me by email, home run, HOMERUN, Brooks, BROOKS, 32 at gmail.com. And also my business phone number, 330-203-6787.
And you know you got to go ahead and get this last plug in for Businessman of the Year. Why don't you go ahead and share that with the people one time for the one time?
Yes, so we got a couple more days left. I am nominated for Businessman of the Year for the OEA 2024. Unlimited voting, once again, unlimited. November 10th at midnight, it ends. We got a few more days to go. And also, I did get, I'm a recipient for the Trappy Awards for Best Youth Program of the Year.
Congratulations, Coach. That's amazing, man. Well, nothing else needs to be asked. Ladies and gentlemen, Coach Donny Brooks on the Chris Gunther Show. Cue my theme song. I'll see y'all next time.